Welcome to Fingersprint. I'm Lily V, and this is part 1 in the series of tutorials showing you how to paint this northern forest landscape. In this video, I'll teach you how to finger paint a gradient background with 7 different colors. Thanks for joining me in how to finger paint a gradient background. For this tutorial, the colors you'll need are titanium white, unbleached titanium, green yellow, turquoise, yellow, ultramarine blue, and phalocyanine blue. We've got 3 colors, dark to light. We're going to start with the yellow-green and blend it in circles. In between colors, I clean off my fingers so we don't blend them just yet. We're just going to spread these colors out with a circular motion. This is ultramarine blue. I want to get that spreaded out too. All right, clean finger, and now we're going to do the transition between the yellow-green and the turquoise. Circular motion just to bring a little bit of those 2 colors together. Now we're going to blend the turquoise and the ultramarine blue. We can use circles. Once I get them blended, I like to use random finger patterns to break up the circles. You can do figure 8s, or you could pat along the transition lines. Here I'm going to speed it up and show you what happens if you use the patting technique. It really helps to make those transitions smooth. So we're going to rely on that for our gradient background quite a bit. Practice this technique as much as you like with the different colors until you get ready to do your final painting. Here we've protected our table, and we're going to start with titanium white in the center. Do a spiral like this to get some color in the middle. It's a little off-center on purpose. I like to compose my painting slightly off. There's unbleached titanium. It looks a little brown, but it'll help tone down the yellow and make it all more natural looking. This yellow is pretty bright, so there's just a small dab there, and I'm going to take my finger and separate this into a couple different places to make it easier to blend. Now we have the green yellow. Leave the bottom of the canvas blank for the final layer of trees. Put a couple layers of turquoise here and a nice curve. We want those colors to radiate out. There's the ultramarine blue. And the phalocyanine blue is a dark, dark blue, and that's going to go on the very edge. Now we're going to start from the center and spiral out. Slowly start to pick up the different colors along the way. Now we've got the yellow and the unbleached titanium blending really nicely. You want to get those all spread out. Then go into the green. I sped up this part a little bit. You get the idea. Circular motions are the best way to spread paint out really quickly. Acrylics will dry fairly fast, so you want to do this as soon as possible just to get all these main colors spread out along the canvas, all the way to the edges. When you're working backwards, don't go too far into the lighter colors. You can do a little bit along the yellow and the green and the blue. You'll start to see how the darker colors overtake the lighter ones quite easily. So I'm just going to work this layer with the turquoise and the green and the blue just a little bit more. You can see the back and forth motion and the different ways that I move my finger around just to break up the pattern. You want to typically work in from the lightest out to the darkest. See, I've got dark colors on my fingers now. I'm going to go clean those off so I can go back into the middle where the lighter colors are. Here's my bowl of water. Acrylics do dry quickly, so water will help us blend these colors and make the overall finished painting really smooth. So just get a little tiny dab of water, go back to that center, start working out toward the edges again. Here's how I get water on my fingers to make sure there isn't too much. Just a quick tap into the water and then flick off the excess so it's just barely wet. You can always add more water, but you can't take it away, so you want to start with as little water as possible. Now more circular motions here just to get these beautiful light colors blended smoothly. The gradient background depends on having all these colors transition very softly from one to the next. All right, I want a little more of that nice bright ultramarine blue here. You can work with these colors on your own and you can add as you need. I want this to be a little more blue overall, so we're gonna add some more turquoise, make that transition to the green a little smoother. Just keep going back and forth. And into the green. So you can see I've added a little more yellow green, and here's where I'm using a lot of that tapping technique to make sure those transitions are as smooth as possible. I'm gonna mix yellow and white together. I don't wanna have super bright yellow, so I'm gonna add some white at the same time in order to work on blending. Blending colors is really fun with finger painting because you can just add as much as you want slowly. And then the last step is adding some titanium white to the very center to make that glow really pop. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you learned something, hit subscribe and click the bell so you can be notified every time I upload something new.